Hi everyone, so in this video we're going to continue setting up our brand new baby WordPress website. So I'm here inside the WP admin area inside WordPress admin. So if you'd like to follow along, you can do the same, log inside your WordPress admin area. And first of all, on the left hand side, what you can see are the different areas of your WordPress installation. And in case you're not familiar with WordPress, the main areas where you will be working are posts. So these are going to be all of your blog posts, most likely you will include in the posts. So right now there will be a default post called Hello World. And in the future, any posts that you add, most likely you will be adding them in this area under posts. Next, the other area that you'll be using a lot is pages. So pages will be the pages such as your privacy policy page, your contact page, about page, etc. And generally pages will be those things that you see at the top of the menus on websites. So pages are going to be used less. They are very important, but generally you will have a lot fewer pages than posts on your website. Okay, so the first thing that we will do is set up some basic settings. So get into this left side menu and then under settings, choose general. We're going to work through that first. So first of all, you will see that there is a site title and a tagline. So these are the things that come up when people are viewing your website in the browser. See if they are in the browser and they mouse over the browser, they see my WordPress dash just another WordPress site. So this is what is controlled from site title and tagline. So here you will want to change your site title to your actual website title. So I'll call it positive numerology. Okay, and then under tagline, I will put in meaning of numbers, how to, okay, meaning of numbers, and affirmations. You can always change this later, but just it's a good idea to change this early on to something that makes at least some kind of sense, and then you can always fine tune it in the future if you choose to do that. Next, you will see that we've got this thing here, WordPress address URL and site address URL. So what I recommend for you to do is to change this to www, like this, www. That will just change your, anytime when somebody navigates to your website, they will navigate to the www version of your site. Even if they just type in positivenumerology.com, they will be redirected to www version. And the reason why I do that is because in the future, if you want to start installing things like content distribution network, CDN, to make your website load faster, often the services actually require you to have your website done as www. So in my opinion, it's a good idea to do it straight away, kind of like very early on, so that you don't have to change this in the future. Next, you will see that there is so site language. You probably want to keep this as English United States. For time zone, you can change this to your time zone. So for me, for example, I will change it to Sydney, and that's GMT plus 11. Sorry, UTC, well, I think it's the same thing, UTC plus 11. So date format, you can change it to whatever date format you would like. For me, I'll just keep it the default way. All right, and that's it in terms of our general basic settings. Just hit Save Changes. Now you will notice that you were asked to log in again, and that's because we changed the website login to www. So now it's effectively a different domain in the opinion of your browser. So just enter your username and password once again, and then you'll be redirected here. So now if you go on the general, you will see that it's now www, so we're good. Next, go into writing, and I don't believe there is anything to be changed in here, so you can skip that. Then go into reading. So you can leave all of the settings here as default for now. We may change them at a later point in time. Under discussion, there is nothing that needs to be changed right now. The next one actually that we need to change is permalinks. So for permalinks, what you want to do is change it to this one, which is post name. So this just means how the setting determines how the URLs are defaulted on your website in the future. So what we want is, if you publish a post that says what is numerology in its title, we want the URL to be defaulted as positivenumerology.com/what-is-numerology. There are other weird formats such as $P equals, or this custom structure that was in here before we got here. It had some index.php in it, etc. But we just want the simplest possible one, which is this one, post name. So just go ahead and change that and click Save Changes. The next thing that you'll want to do is go into Users and click Your Profile to change your profile to to reflect your real name, or at least the name that you'd like to appear on your blog. So for example, if you would like to use pseudonym, so some kind of a pen name to run your blog, perhaps you don't want to reveal your real name, you can enter that here. You can enter it as Greg, and you can put in any last name that you'd like. I'm just going to put my real name for now. Display name publicly as, you'll probably want to choose the first name, last name. And then for your email, that's where you can change your email. You can add a little bit of bio info if you would like, but that's not necessary. For now, just the basic settings here are your first name, last name. The reason why we need that is because by default on your blog, whenever you publish a post, you will have the author information. You don't want it to be some chief123. You want to actually have a first name and a last name, so it's a good idea to add that in here pretty much at the very start. So let's click Update Profile, and that is now done as well. So you will now, for example, see that our first post, which was by chief123, if we refresh that, that will now say by Greg Kononenko, which is good. That's exactly what we wanted. The next thing that I recommend you do at the very start is go and check out what kind of plugins have been installed by default. Often what happens is your host will install some plugins by default. You can see that SG Optimizer here has been installed by default. What we want to do is delete all plugins. You may have more than one here depending on your service which you use. There could be some additional plugins that are installed. We will install all of the plugins that we need in the future, but for now what I recommend you do is just select all of them, and then under bulk action choose deactivate. And then after they've been deactivated, you can choose, so click them all once again, and then here select delete and click apply, and that will delete all of the plugins so that you're starting from a fresh slate. Plugins for WordPress, if you're not familiar with plugins, they are extensions to the functionality. So for example, when we install a contact us function so that you can be contacted through your website, we will use a plugin for that called WB Forms, and that's an extension of the functionality that the standard WordPress installation does not have. So for now, we just want to get rid of all of the default plugins, so we are starting afresh on our new website. So that's it for the initial basic setup that we want to do with our website. This is everything. Thank you for watching, and we will continue setting up the website in the next video.